Sometimes the market makes very, very drastic swings, and the last few days we've been experiencing that. Hey guys, welcome back. I made a move today and I completely erased a position that I had in one of my monthly paying stocks. I've been watching it for a while, and there is some news that has come out about the stock, and I've been watching it for a good opportunity to sell it and make as much money as I could possibly make. But at the same time, watching other stocks that I wanted to increase my positions in with these latest falls in prices over the last 3 or 4 days, it was too good to pass up. Today I pulled the trigger. Stick around and let's talk about that. One of the most difficult things I think that I personally find in investing is selling stock. I do put a fair bit of diligence into looking at positions and looking at companies and seeing what it is that I want to get into. And after putting that time in and watching it and seeing it progress and hopefully do well for me, it's very, very difficult sometimes to basically sell that stock. I feel like I'm giving up on that company, especially if it's done very well for me. In today's case, I sold my position of TransAlta Renewables. I had about 300 shares in my TFSA, and I had another, I think, 40 or 50 in my RRSP. And recently, TransAlta Corporation, the parent company, came out with an announcement that they were going to be selling, or excuse me, buying back all of the shares of TransAlta Renewables. Their offer is a combination of stock in TransAlta Corporation as well as potentially money, just depending on what the investors choose. So you're not guaranteed to get all of either, you're going to get a portion of both. And basically, they were selling the stock, or they were going to pay the shareholders $13 per stock. Now, my average price on my purchases was a little bit higher than that. But with the dividends, my total return, I was right about even. And over the last about week and a half, I've watched TransAlta, and it's gone up as high as about 1350, I think maybe even 1360 it might have touched. And then today it was dropping. It was down around 1338 or something to that effect. Excuse me, that effect. And what I did, as I've been watching it for a few days, I was watching the rest of the market, and it's just tanked over the last little while. And of course, I've trained my mind to now look at that as buying opportunities. What things do I really want to get, or what am I in that I want more of? And that really presented itself for me today. So I sold all 300 of my shares within my TFSA, and from the profits of that, I was able to increase my positions in Bank of Montreal, in Canadian Tire, as well as Fortis. Excuse me. And I was able to get 10 shares each of Bank of Montreal and Canadian Tire. Bank of Montreal closed today at $115.07, which is actually slightly up from what I did purchase it at. So that really gave me an opportunity to bring down my average cost in the bank. As well, I got Canadian Tire at basically almost $20 cheaper than the high that it was at just nearly 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I had a fairly good profit on that, but with the latest dip, I was able to bring down my average cost. So, two very solid stocks. The irony in this, me loving dividend paying stocks, is that it also provides me those payments that come in that 1 month of every 3 month period that I didn't have any quarterly payers. It's those payers that pay in 2, 5, 8, and 11. So February, May, August, and November. Canadian Tire, this next payment is actually going to be on September 1st. But I think I've shown my spreadsheet in the past where my dividends come monthly or quarterly, and then I show each quarter how much comes in. And both Canadian Tire and Bank of Montreal really, really spiked up with those increase in purchases of shares, making me almost equal across all 3 months now between my dividend paying shares my monthly paying dividend shares, as well as my quarterlies. So the variance is not as much, and it's a guaranteed certain amount every month that doesn't fluctuate really high and really low. So really, really pleased with that. And then, of course, Fortis, I picked up another 12 shares of Fortis. And I mean, that's the king. What can you say about Fortis? It as well has dropped over the last few days. That I bought slightly higher than what my average cost is. So it did go up slightly there. But again, the dividend king of Canada, I'm not going to turn down an opportunity to get more of it when I can. So I'd be interested to hear from you guys about what your plans are with TransAlta Renewables. If you are a current shareholder, have you already sold them and moved on to something else? Or are you going to allow that purchase to go through from TransAlta and take the TransAlta stock? Interested to hear your points of view out there. One of the reasons, I guess probably the biggest reason why I sold, was I was losing my monthly dividend of 7.83 cents, and it was going to 5.5 cents quarterly, and that didn't fit with what I'm after right now. I also have Northland Power stock, which is also a renewables company, and they pay monthly. So I did increase a little bit of that today as well. So anyway, that's going to wrap up this session, just talking about TransAlta Renewables, the sale of it. I don't know if I want to hope it does well because I don't have it anymore, but if you have it, I hope you do well. And the purchases into other companies that I wanted to increase my positions in. As I always mention, this is not stock advice, just kind of some things that my wife and I are doing in our investing journey. And as I ask at the end of every one of these videos, if you've enjoyed this video or any other video that you've seen, please consider subscribing by hitting on that Marksy's Place icon. Until next time, have a great rest of your week. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.